The night she would remember forever began with a choice she almost didn't make, and before this story ends, you'll understand why one quiet smile across a crowded Christmas table changed 3 lives forever. So before we begin, if you believe stories can still heal hearts and remind us of what truly matters, take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this deserve to be shared. Clara Whitmore had built her life on decisions that never wavered. As the CEO of a fast-rising tech company, she was known for calm authority, sharp instincts, and a schedule so tight it rarely left room for doubt. But that December evening, standing in front of the mirror adjusting her pearl earrings, doubt sat heavy in her chest. Behind her, 8-year-old Lily tugged gently at her sleeve, her small fingers moving in quick, graceful signs, asking the same question she had asked 3 times already. "Are we staying long?" Lily's eyes were hopeful but cautious. Clara swallowed, forced a smile, and signed back that they would try. It was just a company Christmas dinner, after all. Just one evening. Lily had been deaf since birth. Clara had learned sign language not out of choice, but necessity, back when fear outweighed confidence and the future looked fragile. Over the years, Lily became her anchor, the one person who saw Clara not as a powerful executive, but simply as mom. Yet tonight, Clara worried. Corporate dinners were loud, crowded, and filled with people who spoke over each other without realizing how isolating that could be for a child who lived in silence. The ballroom glittered with gold lights and polished laughter. Employees and investors mingled, glasses clinking, music humming softly in the background. Lily held Clara's hand tighter as they walked in, her eyes scanning the room. Clara leaned down and signed reassurances, though her own nerves hadn't settled. She wondered if bringing Lily had been selfish, a way to avoid hiring another babysitter on Christmas week, or if it was brave, an attempt to merge the 2 halves of her life that never quite fit together. They were halfway to their table when Lily suddenly stopped. Her grip loosened. Clara turned, ready to soothe her, when she noticed Lily staring across the room, completely still. At a corner table sat a man and a young boy. The man was signing animatedly, his expressions warm and exaggerated, his hands moving with ease and confidence. The boy laughed silently, his whole face lighting up as he signed back, their conversation flowing like music only they could hear. Lily's face transformed, her shoulders relaxed, a slow, radiant smile spread across her face, the kind Clara hadn't seen in weeks. She tugged Clara's hand again, eyes shining, and signed, "He talks like us." That was the moment everything shifted. The man's name was Ethan Brooks. Clara learned it later, along with the fact that he was a project manager in one of the company's smaller departments. He was also a single father. His son, Noah, was 6 and deaf as well. Ethan had learned sign language after Noah's mother passed away 2 years earlier, thrown into parenthood and grief at the same time, determined that his son would never feel unheard. Clara hadn't planned on meeting him. She certainly hadn't planned on sitting at their table, prompted by Lily's gentle insistence. The dinner unfolded differently than expected. While others spoke loudly over plates and wine glasses, Clara found herself communicating through signs more than words, watching Lily and Noah bond instantly over shared experiences only they understood. Ethan noticed Clara's hesitation, her slight awkwardness in signing, and offered encouragement with patient smiles rather than correction. Conversation came easily in the quiet moments between them. Ethan spoke about balancing deadlines with school pickups, about learning to braid Noah's hair from YouTube videos, about the fear of not being enough and the hope that somehow love would fill the gaps. Clara surprised herself by sharing more than she usually did, about the loneliness at the top, about boardrooms that applauded her success but never asked how she was coping, about the nights she lay awake worrying if Lily felt left behind by her ambition. Halfway through the evening, an unexpected challenge arose. The music volume increased, lights dimmed, and a spontaneous speech began. Lily stiffened, confusion clouding her face. She couldn't see the speaker clearly, couldn't read lips in the shadows, couldn't understand why everyone suddenly laughed. Clara felt panic rise, guilt tightening her chest. She knelt to explain, but Lily's eyes were already watering. Before Clara could react, Ethan gently tapped Lily's shoulder. He signed a summary of what was happening, adding humor, turning the confusion into a small shared joke. Lily laughed, her tears disappearing as quickly as they had come. Clara looked up at Ethan, gratitude flooding her eyes. It wasn't just that he knew sign language, it was that he noticed, that he understood the small moments that mattered most. The rest of the night passed softly. When it ended, Clara expected the connection to fade back into memory, another pleasant but fleeting encounter. But days later, she found herself asking about Ethan during meetings, reviewing his project reports more closely, noticing his quiet competence. She worried about crossing boundaries, about power dynamics, about complicating her carefully ordered life. Ethan, meanwhile, wrestled with his own doubts. He admired Clara, but assumed someone like her wouldn't have room for someone like him. It was Lily who bridged the distance. She asked about Noah constantly. She signed questions about when they could see the signing dad again. Finally, Clara listened. They met again, this time at a park, no titles, no expectations. Just two parents, two children, and a bench dusted with winter sunlight. There were challenges, misunderstandings, moments when Clara's work pulled her away or Ethan's insecurities resurfaced. But there were also resolutions, honest conversations, compromises, and a shared promise to always prioritize the children who had unknowingly brought them together. Months later, at another Christmas dinner, this time smaller and warmer, Clara watched Lily laugh beside Noah, their hands flying as they signed secrets only they understood. Ethan caught her eye across the table and smiled. In that smile was patience, strength, and a future Clara had never planned for but now couldn't imagine living without. She realized then that success wasn't measured by titles or applause, but by moments of connection, by learning a new language of love, and by the courage to listen, even when the world was loud. If this story touched your heart, remember that sometimes the quietest gestures can change everything. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay with us, because the next story might just be the one that reminds you you're not alone.